Hola, buenos días, soy Nico.
I don't want to link. I don't want to smoke. I don't want to drink. I don't want to stay the night. I don't want to fuck. I don't.
And today, sorry in advance, my voice is kind of raspy and I don't necessarily know what's up, so we're just gonna roll with it. But today, we're here to talk about something that's on brand, but also the opposite end of the spectrum of what I usually cover, because we're talking about the hot girlies, Nico and Beaux Banks. I have to make the disclaimer, and Beaux Banks, because just back knowledge, if you don't know who Beaux Banks is, he is a multiracial and or biracial performer that was popular in like the 2010s with the major white studios such as Men.com, Raging Stallions, Cocky Boys, and Guys in Sweatpants. And I say that because when the conversation of inclusivity and, diversity comes into play, I remember somebody had brought up Beaux Banks, but he is not black. I don't adhere to the one drop rule, mostly because to me, in my opinion, and a lot of other philosophers, race is a social construct. If you do not fit a phenotype, you are not a part of that race, in my opinion. As in, if you are not navigating the world as a black person, if you do not have the same struggles and hurdles as the everyday black person because you are a multiracial person, I don't consider you black. You are multiracial or biracial and you're both of those parts, but you are not a quote-unquote black person because you navigate the world differently. Do not argue with me about that in the comments. That is my own personal beliefs. It's not slight or shade at anybody. It's just race is a social construct. So if you're not facing the same social hurdles, you don't fit that group to me. But moving on. So basically he put a more current popular performer on blast. And I say it like that because Beaux Banks retired, to my knowledge. Like, he fell off the face of the earth and now he's come back and he's trying to get back into the scene, but his numbers are not doing the best analytics wise. I'm not even trying to be shady, just numbers wise, a performer with the name of Beaux Banks should be doing better numbers. So a performer named Dom King essentially tried to reach out to him and basically said, hey, I saw that you're going to be in Detroit, so-and-so dates. I wanted to know if you'd be interested in meeting up, just seeing what's up. And Beaux Banks was like, I'm definitely interested in meeting you, I find you attractive as well, because he continued to emphasize how beautiful he was and how he was interested in him. And they set it up loosely at that. But then Dom saw that Beaux Banks had made a post about his Boochie cat, Nico, his Georgia peach. So he came back into the conversation and basically said, hey, we're gonna make such a beautiful video, basically clarifying that when he said, are you interested in linking up and seeing what's up, he meant as a collab. And then Beaux Banks had to retort with, hey, I find you mutually attractive as well, and that probably means that we will have super happy adult fun time, but I don't want to put the expectations of filming on the encounter. I would still love to get to know you and see you as a person, but I'm going to be hosting that event, so I can't give you a definite yes, but most likely I would be open to filming. And from there, Dom continued to re-emphasize the sexual aspects, trying to see the schedule of the event that he was hosting so that he could get a filmographer to videotape it for them so that they can make it the best quality that they can. And Beaux Banks, Beaux Banks didn't really give him a no and or push back on this energy. If anything, he sent him the schedule and was like, hey, I hope to see you at the event. And then he put the man on blast because he's like, oh, he's clearly not getting the hint. And the guy had to come back and say, I don't understand what I did wrong. And somebody said, well, a maybe isn't a yes. And he said, yeah, I know that, but I was very specific with what I wanted. And I was also respectful, and he didn't tell me no. If anything, he gave me a hard maybe. So I don't understand why I'm being put on blast. And a lot of people are agreeing with him because somebody said, I don't understand what the issue is. I've reread this multiple times, and Beaux Banks had to reemphasize, I don't like being objectified, especially being used for a monetary gain solely. And I like to humanize people, and if you can't give me the humanity that I need in the conversation, then blah, 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 blah. My thing is, I agree with that message because I come on here and I humanize performers all the time. You know, I talk about different scenarios of how they deserve more respect, more safety, more, you know, freedom to express themselves. But in this connotation, after the second message, you clearly saw what his energy was. And from the first message, it did seem genuine. It seemed like, hey, I'm attracted to you. I would like to get to know you. And that's the energy Beaux Banks was replying with every time. I'm very attracted to you. I want to get to know you more than just physical, but most likely we will have physical interactions. But the guy was clear and set that he just wanted it to be a collab. And I feel like that's where this energy is coming from, because a lot of people are like, if you gave him a definite no, and he did not reciprocate that energy and he continued, then this post would be warranted. But as of now, it makes you look bad because he was trying to do a business move and do a collab, and you're putting him on blast for setting up the collab. And he was respectful about it, to be honest. That's the thing. Like I said earlier, he only made the butt comment because Beaux Banks had made a post about his butt. So then he continued to try to set up the collab because the dates were getting closer. But I definitely want to hear your opinions. How do you feel about this situation and Beaux Banks just putting people on blast for trying to make collaborations with him, even though he's reintegrating into the scene? Because I agree with the commentators, such as, if he had gotten disrespectful, if you had told him no and he continued on, putting him on blast about being unprofessional would be warranted. But at this point, after the first message, y'all already agreed to meet up. You already said you're probably going to have super happy adult fun time, and you said you'd probably even be open to filming. You just want it to happen naturally, which I respect. But that's not a no. If anything, that's a yes. But the guy's approach was strong, so I understand being put off about it, because you can clearly see that he's only trying to use you as a sexual exploit for his platform. But at that point, you're not telling him no, and you're continuing to give him a yes. So putting him on blast after that, I don't understand. But that's just how I viewed it, because I had to reread the conversation a few times to make sure, like, why is he upset? But definitely drop your opinions down below. Can you see both sides, or do you feel like Beaux Banks was just out of pocket because he continued to tell the guy, I'd be down, I'm open to it, you know, I just want it to happen naturally. But you can clearly see that he wanted it to be more than just a physical fling for a monetary gain. And the guy was just head set on, I want this to be a collab. But yes, definitely drop your opinions down below. Oh. And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers, Lick Bamboo, LOL, and Jalen. Your continued support is greatly appreciated. Thank you once again. And this week's live stream is a virtual hangout, and since I will be out of the country, it will be earlier in the day, but I'll confirm times with you guys to see which works best with everyone's schedule. Thank you again for your continued support.